the Cremer CF1220 vibrators, they are a resonance system. A resonance system is a resonance frequency. This is the frequency where the amplitude is maximum. If we go below that peak, at some stage, there's no amplitude, there's hardly any amplitude. And if we go over that peak, if the driven frequency is too high, there's also almost no amplitude. And we want to tune them to 1.4 millimeters. So we'll find that on both sides on this curve. So we find 1.4 millimeter amplitude before the resonance frequency, and we also find it after the resonance frequency. But we want to tune the vibrators to the frequency before resonance. So what I normally do is take that potentiometer, when you receive the board, this potentiometer, you turn it all the way counterclockwise before you start tuning the vibrators. Because then you come from this end of the frequency spectrum, and the first one that the first frequency where you see the amplitude is 1.4 millimeters, that is the correct frequency. Now, to determine if the plate is running at 1.4 millimeters, Cremer has made these stickers that you can stick to the vibratory plates. When these vibrate, they will form a cone-shaped thingy, like this one. And then the peak of that cone will tell you the amplitude of that vibrator. So if the peak is here, it would be between 1.0 and 1.5 millimeters, so it's about 1.2. Since we tune it to 1.4, I have modified this sticker a little bit. I put two lines here. These lines are spaced apart 1.4 millimeters. This is significantly enlarged. These stickers are only very small. So this is 1.4 millimeters. And then when the vibrator is running at 1.4, what you will see on the sticker is a clear center line with two gray areas on each side, which is similar to this, because it's vibrating left and right. But this line in the center will be very clear, so that makes it easy to see that this is running at 1.4 millimeters. You will still see that cone-shaped, so that you can see whether you're above or below the 1.5 millimeter line. But if it's 1.4, this line is in the center. Now, the vibrator that you're going to tune, you need to set the amplitude on the terminal to 99, so that it runs at the maximum speed. So at the maximum speed, the vibrator can only be 1.4 millimeters. Because if you would set the speed to 80 and you tune it to 1.4 millimeters, that would mean that if you would set it to 99 at a later stage, that vibrator will be running much more than 1.4 millimeter amplitude, and you can wear out or even break the springs. So it's very important that you set the speed to 99 before you start tuning the vibrators. So to tune the vibrator, we've put these stickers on the vibratory plate. You could use the Cremer one or the Zayek one, doesn't matter. I prefer the Zayek one because it has these two extra lines which are spaced apart 1.4 millimeters. So rather than checking that cone-shaped overlap thingy here to see the amplitude of the plate. I can just check these lines, and if they match up, I know that the plate is running at 1.4 millimeters. Let's put the camera in the cradle. Now when you've received a new board, I would turn this potentiometer all the way counterclockwise, so that you start at the low frequency side. Then you need to put this jumper, place the jumper on there, so that we enable the adjust of the frequency, and then we set the plate to run at 99 full speed, and then start the machine. So the hopper, in this case we're doing the front vibrator. The hopper we put at a low amplitude, and the front vibrator at the maximum, which is 99. So we're gonna start that up now. And then all we need to do is turn this trimming potmeter clockwise until we see that the amplitude is 1.4 millimeters. So now it's 1.4, then we're all done. So we take the jumper off, we put it again in the park mode, and then we're all set.